So we are very, very fortunate today, and with the help of Ms. Davies, who couldn't be here today, that we have Julianne Nickerson from Spruce Peak Performing Arts and students from the NVU theater program of one of the classes here today. And Julianne will talk a little bit about what this is, how it came about, and maybe what you can expect. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. So, thank you very much. So, I am from Spruce Peak Performing Arts Center. I am the Director of Education. And we are delighted that we were able to do this pilot project with 8th graders from your school. There were 12 8th graders who participated in the program. And the idea is to get the voices of youth and to hear your stories and hear your experiences and to create something. And this particular pilot group created characters that then told stories and tell some stories. There's a little bit of hopes, beliefs, and scenes and kind of what's out there. So it was an interesting process, and I'm sure at the end, like I said, we'll have a Q&A to talk about what that was like, and you can ask your peers what that was like and also ask the actors. And it was a collaboration with the Devised Theatre class, which is a collaborative theater group that comes together to create something. And so you'll see their interpretation and creation from the stories that they gathered from 6 weeks of meeting with your peers. So that is what this is all about. Definite big thank you to Maria Davies and part of the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion program who helped support make this happen. And so we really appreciate all of her support and just enjoy the show, and then I'll be back for the Q&A at the end. So thank you.
Thank you.
Who are you?
Yeah. Who's the main character in this?
I am.
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 I am. I am bright and I am dark. I am everything and nothing. I am.
I am intelligent.
I am dull and happy and confused altogether. I am happy and calm.
I am easygoing, funny, and quiet.
I am a leader.
I am calm, loving, and I anger easily.
I am freedom and power. I am smart and sarcastic.
I am futile.
I am Cam.
I am
Ryan.
I am nobody knows. I am Luna.
Hannah.
I am Reynolds.
I am Savannah.
I am Blaze. I am Hildy.
I am 742.
And we work together.
This is a post-apocalyptic world. The Earth exploded and burned. When it exploded, we went poof and shot into the sky.
Some believe that the sky exploded too, but it was only old.
Many believe that we were lifted by angels, but nobody has seen any to prove it.
We can all fly! And the clouds became food. The clouds became food, building material, and sacrifices. Water comes from another, or different source, different sky, that constantly fills up with clouds that we can make houses with, that we eat.
When we rose, communities were split up. Now there are different sky cities, a wild area, and a dense jungle where the earth used to be, full of untamed, unspoken, and untold monsters.
The earth exploded, and we rose to the sky, and we can't go back because we're scared and we don't know what's down there.
We call it the unknown source. That is where the water comes from.
Yeah, exactly, the unknown source.
Hey, Luna, I'm trying to make background here. Go with it.
It probably is something.
It is not nothing.
We used to be together. But where are we? What do we need?
The only thing we need to do is...
When we exploded and were brought into the sky, we all got separated. The only thing we need to do is...
That line seems good. The only thing we need to do is... What do we need to do?
We need to find our way back to the rest of the...
The only thing we need to do is survive.
So, what would the houses be built out of?
Huh.
Clouds?
Yeah. And?
The bigger they are, the better they are for building.
And the ones that aren't like that, you just...
You built all of this? Whose idea was that? Reynolds. He was like, we should totally build a couple of things. And everyone was like, yeah.
Most places have a town square, a place of gathering. We first built a giant structure. It was a massive place, like the community places you had to build. That giant structure would tell everyone how to get here. It's a space where we can just be ourselves and not worry about anything.
We thought we needed a place where everybody knew where it was.
We also built other structures like houses and a hospital.
There would have to be a school.
That's correct. And a grocery store. Wait a minute. Why would we need a grocery store when there's an infinite amount of clouds? It literally just makes sense.
This is our first building. This is where we bring our sacrifices.
What?
Sacrifices?
Everyone brings their own share of clouds and burns them and sends them back up as sacrifice.
What are they sacrificing to?
Probably the thing that gives them clouds.
There are entities. They only come out at night. They take the clouds we leave for them.
It gives us a reason to be grateful.
Clouds are what keep us alive.
It gives us life.
Afterwards, we just talk to each other. It's just like a normal place. We don't know each other. We know of each other.
It's like brushing your teeth. You don't like doing it, but you also don't hate doing it. It's just something we do. Somebody has to do it.
Not really.
Being a better person, being grateful that you are given these things, it's just something you have to do. It's like sometimes you just do it because you want to.
Well, I don't really want to die, so...
Food, goldfish, honey barbecue chips, sleeping, music, video games.
That's all she does is eat food.
And I'm so skinny, it's surprising.
Okay. Friends, food, soccer, a comfortable bed, and music.
I'd say basketball, friends, mac and cheese, family, and drawing on my skin. But then Sylvia's like, no, bad influence. She saw me doing it one time because I was getting people to sign my arm, but she said no. And I'm like, dude, shut up, I'm not dying or anything.
I love music.
Me too.
What kind of music is in this new world?
In this new world? Well, if it's the new world, then there must be new music, so...
Music is different in the new world.
New food?
Yeah, Savannah's right, new food.
Where does the food come from? The sky?
I know. We have angels, and they shape the clouds into whatever food you want, and then they say kaboom, and boom.
What food? With that little catchphrase.
Kaboom?
Yeah, why do they say kaboom?
Because it's cool. It's lame. I'm hungry.
What do you really think about the new world?
It's better.
It's definitely better.
We have good food.
The only good things about it are food and that we can fly. What about what you had to leave behind? Your friends?
You are my friends. We had to make new friends when our other friends had to stay back.
Well, it is a new environment. We obviously have music, food, and friends to comfort us, but in this new world, we're still figuring things out.
It's scary being in the new world.
Yeah, it is a big new change, and we have friends to comfort each other. But you know, you can't be upset when your friends are.
When I was sad, they were there for me. They knew me better than anyone else. Better than my mom.
Exactly. I don't tell my mom anything, but she's annoying.
If anything, my sister knows everything about me. Every little thing.
All I knew for sure was that my sister was coming along. I couldn't leave her behind. The world is going to end.
Technically, it already has.
So we adapted.
In order to adapt, we must tame the jungle. We are still trying to adapt.
Say that you can't make it back to the people that you need to.
Or surrounded by people you never knew.
Or you don't get along with. You are technically nothing and everything at the same time.
Some of us find each other.
Some of us went through a battle.
Some of us went through something else.
We've seen a lot of things. I hope we don't destroy the world.
I believe in my friends.
I believe the world will end soon.
I hope I see more.
I hope that school will get better.
I believe and I love you.
I have seen a baby fall flat on its face on the pavement.
I hope to be rich.
I believe in nothing.
I believe the world can come to peace.
I believe in the end I become solid.
I believe all should be treated equally.
I have seen terrible things.
I believe it's a good day. I hope my dreams come true.
The microphone? Should I use this one over here? We go with the flow over here. Was I not projecting enough? No, I'm kidding. Hello, hi. I'm gonna keep talking like this. Okay, I would like to invite our wonderful 8th grade In My Voice people, humans, to the stage if you'd like to join us. Don't feel pressure, but I'd love to have you up here if you would like to. I want to show you a good space. project more. Still projecting. Use the other one. Got it. Okay. Using the other one. They are. I'm gonna keep rolling with the punches here. Here we go. So, I'm gonna talk loudly. So, these are our beautiful friends. These 8th graders spent 6 weeks in a room with me. Some of the rooms very small, some of the rooms very big. And they made amazing work. I put them through the ringer. I asked them a lot of questions. Some of them made no sense at all, but they somehow still made a through line through all of them. They were in different groups at different times. They were working with many different people at different times, but somehow they still had a collective story that came together. And that is what you saw on the stage tonight. Today, it's like 9 a.m. What am I talking about? Every word that you heard on this stage came from them. All of them. Every single one. Their ideas came from them. The story the world that we built came from them. They were given some guidelines and some rails to help find that, but they did an amazing job on creating and building this world. So I just want to applaud them for all their we want to have a moment of reflection. We want to talk about how that piece felt for you. I want you all to hear how it was received. You don't have to stay up here for that if that is overwhelming for you. I'm inviting you to go back to your seat. You can sit on the edge, wherever you want to sit. We can all sit together, whatever you're feeling. We've got cubes if you want to sit on a cube. If you're feeling like you want to sit on a cloud today, you can do that. No, please go ahead. Can we grab some cloud cubes while I'm talking? Yeah. Great. So I'm going to invite Julianne up to the stage. We're taking comments, questions. I want to know how you felt. But thank you. Take it away.
Yeah.
So
as you saw this, I will bring the mic out to you, and you can think about what question do you have, either for the actors or the playwrights. I move, so there's a block here. So, what'd you think? Yeah? A little different experience, huh? I thought it was kind of cool, like, wow, how did we get here? So, questions, anything? Comments. I'm gonna walk down, I think I see you.
you are all allowed to say things too. I want to ask a pro.
Yes, right here.
How long have you guys been doing this? And I enjoyed your first performance. And I cannot wait to see the rest. Thank you.
Does anybody remember how many weeks? 6?
6 weeks.
6 weeks. So we spent 6 weeks in a classroom, big and small, creating all this. It was an hour each time. So it was about 6 hours of time they created all of that work, which is honestly phenomenal. Incredible. To our NBU Johnson acting team, how long did we have to rehearse this?
Like a month?
It's a month. It's giving not a lot of time either. So it was a very fast-paced process, and from the jump, everyone, even on the very first day, I think you all remember that very first day that we had together, people were still so willing to do things. And that was the most important part, to make sure that the amount of time we had to do this worked. Because it wasn't a lot of time, but still, they created an amazing script that told a gigantic story and created a whole new world, a whole new universe to think about. And our Devised team over here had little to no time to make sure that we stayed true to what they were saying and inflected that for them. But about a month, I would say, in total. Any other questions? You all can ask questions too if you want to know anything from them, from the audience. Anyone?
I have a question.
Ooh.
I have a couple of questions. But I'll start with
Who's got a
I'm
microphone?
coming over here.
So
students many questions, what did you do with the information that you received? Because they built the play, right? So were you funneling them their own story as they were answering questions, or were you just asking questions for your own like data? Like, what happened to the questions you asked them?
Yeah, so we started at the beginning. I was basically just asking you to tell me everything that was in your mind, I feel like. What did it feel like for me, for you guys, in terms of asking you all those questions? How'd that feel? Yeah, it was a whirlwind. I just threw things at them. It was like, I gave them Post-it notes and told them to write 10 words that just came to mind. And then we made association bubbles that made worlds within the words that they said. I asked them about their hopes, what they hope, what they have seen, and what they believe.
So the questions drove their process.
Exactly. And every time we came back, I tried my darndest to take the things you said to me before, in the hour sessions we had before that, to mold the scope in which they could think. Because it was the biggest thing you could ever think about. We were everywhere and nowhere at the same time. And so it took a lot of noticing, really, because they were all saying things that were kind of similar, unique to them, but similar through the board. And so there were through lines. And so after I made you tell me everything that was in your brains for like 3 sessions, we did some work improvising afterwards, which was interesting at some times, hard at other times, but they still did it. Improv, in my opinion, one of the hardest forms of performance, and they did it anyway. So it was, and I'm speaking for them now, literally if you want to say anything, you tell me, and I will give you this microphone, and you can say whatever not whatever you want, but within reason. So yeah, there was a lot of open-endedness to then find the connections between all of them, and then finding the inner story within that. There was groups that focused on certain themes once we started to pick those out. Do you all remember the themes that we came up with? No, it's okay. Oh. Did someone say? No. We had a new world, resilience, and comfort. Those were kind of 3 areas that were through lines for a lot of people. We had a group there are some of our friends who are missing today. We had a group who were dedicated to making the new world. They helped to create, in the very beginning, there was I think it was Drew's group with Grace, right? Yeah. You created a world where you were flying in the sky. And from there, that is how we ended up in the sky. We are in the sky now, in Skyland. And each group kind of picked their comforts. That's why we had that scene at the end where it's like food, music, my friends, my family. So there's a lot of those kind of little nuggets that everyone was talking about that they were then willing to just explore and explode out into an imaginary space, still thinking about those words. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Great.
Thank you.
Did you have another one?
I was curious how many times the process might have changed for you guys?
Every time.
Right, that's what I imagine, because how hard that would have been to land on one final project. So I wondered how many times, every single day, or did you guys have an idea at the beginning and you stayed with it through the whole thing? Or?
Yeah, in terms of, I'm gonna separate the script making process and the production making process particularly. So, every single day that we came into that tiny little blue room together for an hour, I was the first 3 sessions were just exploratory. So we were just trying to do whatever and anything to get as many ideas into the world as possible. Every time we did new activities to do that, except for the 2 sessions that we had to do the same thing twice because sickness is real. The flu is out there. Take your vitamin C, is all I'm saying. But we had a lot of time where we were just, flowing through information. And it wasn't until about our 4th session together that we started to switch gears into really solidifying the story. We started with knowing that our lovely 8th grade friends would be making the script. That was the point of this, in their voice, to tell a story that they wanted to tell. It could be true to them, it could be fantastical, it could be a true life story, it could be a nonfiction story, but it was up to us in the script writing space to decide where we went. Throughout that, we found something about the sky world really solidified. And I think there was just an image I remember of our sky friends, like in the sky like this. We have like a picture of them in this like tableau I made them create. I'm using a microphone. And so a lot of it was changing every day. But again, it was rolling with the punches. So exploratory for our first 3 sessions, getting into the nitty-gritty of scene creation, and then we spent our last session, our 6th session, getting into dialogue. We really talked about what words we were going to say. A lot of that was just conversations. We gave them the frame of of comfort, new world, or resilience, and we just let them talk about it. They just had conversations. I know that our last scene was literally just, I think the conversation was Zeta, Justice. Who else was in your group that last time? And, oh yeah. And you were just riffing about comfort. You were just like, I like food, give me some honey barbecue chips, like, give me some music, I'll do what I want. And there's a whole, mac and cheese is a very important thing. We need mac and cheese in our life, we need more of it. I was trying to give all of you mac and cheese today. The budget didn't allow it. But in a world where I could have given all of you mac and cheese, imagine that happened. Just in a world. And then on the production side of this, this class is a devised class. Devised theater means everyone works together to create the story and the narrative. So traditional theater, you have a script, you read the script and you do what the script says and you act it and you put it on stage. You can take some liberties in terms of how you make that artistic, but really you're following a map that's given to you. With devised theater, there's no map. You're pulling things, exactly what the actors had to do in the script writing process is what devised theater is. So you're pulling ideas out of the ether. Maybe you have a theme in mind, but you don't know how the story's going to be told or what's going to happen. So with the devised class, that's where we started. And the actors during that time were trying to make a script. Like that was the work that they were doing. They were every day I'm like, write something down. Give me something. What's your character like? What's the world like? And for our devised class, we had to wait a little bit. We had to wait for that process because we needed their ideas. The whole point is that we're sharing what they're saying. Do any of you feel comfortable chatting about what it was like once we kind of got into the script and all that stuff? I'm asking, sorry, yes, and friends. Yes, James, take it away.
There we go. I personally was not part of working with these lovely people for most of it, so popping in right at the end to kind of participate and help out was certainly interesting. Script was pretty cool, and it was fun to do the workshop session at the end. I can't talk very well. Yeah, so it was kind of fun to do something just completely random and off the walls. What else to say?
2 of our friends here. Ooh. Did you No. We had 2 of our friends here in the front, Jackie and Matthew. And we had them pop in with Kate as well. Kate is floating through the ether. But they joined us as mentors in this space as well. They were kind of along with me, like the direct line from these conversations we had every week into the performance group, so into the actors. They had like the visual cues, they saw all the movements you were doing. That sounds a little weird, but it's important that we articulate how you chose to move. And they were helping navigate some of these conversations in terms of just, prompting, asking those questions of like, what's happening? Where are we? Who are you? What's that? Kind of thing. And then from there, we did a lot of just running with what they gave us. So that was using their movements. A lot of like the cloud eating came straight from some tableaus you guys did. And all of that kind of dynamics came straight from observations from the group. So this devised class did a great job of staying authentic, I think, to what you were trying to say. The whole point was that we didn't change what you were trying to say, and we got the point across. I hope it worked. How do you feel about it? I know we had one more session where we showed you this already. There's a few things that were different. How does it feel? We did it? It's all right. Yeah, okay, cool. Anyone want to say anything else? No.
Well, I was just going to say, because we all got to know each other, and then some of this group didn't meet y'all until last week. And some of your characters were kind of, there was a lot of you in there, and then other characters were like adult men. So it was kind of tricky to like explain to Arlie, like, this is somebody fused with somebody else, and these are personality traits and gestures, and then for other characters it's like, this character came out of somebody's brain and we have no idea. So trying to get more information about the characters that were coming just out of the imagination was tricky, but fun.
I wanted to say that the creative process in this was amazing because us as a group over here, we added nothing of our own thoughts and ideas into this process. They gave us the clay and we shaped it, they shaped it, but we helped to guide them a little bit. And it was amazing at the end because we didn't really know the script until like 3 weeks in? No. 3 weeks in, which means we had like 2, maybe 1.5 weeks. And it was just amazing because we were given these intricate characters that were so detailed and so not detailed at the same exact time because my name is Nobody Knows. It was pretty awesome seeing what they were thinking and kind of going back into my 8th grade self.
Yeah, to add to that, I would say because I went to I was one of the mentors, so I got to see it, evolve over time, and I think just seeing it come to fruition, all of the characters and the ideas, it was just an incredible process to be able to see happen. Anyway, that's it.
The floor is back open.
How did you choose the music?
So I walked in last session, and we had a placeholder song that I don't remember now because this one was so good. It was Firework by Katy Perry, and I said to them, "We need music. Tell me a song that you want to put in here." Because we're talking about music a lot, so we should put a little bit of music in here. And then Justice, with the force of powerful creative energy, was like, I know exactly the song we're going to do. Was it by Shawn Mendes, potentially? No. Was it by Ed Sheeran? Yes, it was. But it was a lot of the things we did were fast-paced, last minute. But that song in particular, given to us by the wonderful and talented Justice. Thank you so much. In terms of our sound in general, we had our 2 sound lads over here, Isaac and Sergey. Sergey, the incredible saxophonist, and Isaac on the cajon, which you're sitting on right now, little drummy thing. Yeah. That soundscape, I think, was improvised every single time. And Sergey, incredible saxophonist, I just give him words, and he's like, okay, I say atmosphere. It's giving jungle. It's giving industrial. And he's like, I got it. Here you go.
Jungle.
It's giving jungle. Like, what does that even mean? And Sergey's like, no, I got you. I will play the saxophone like I'm in the forest. And I'm like, okay, thank you. And Isaac he's a percussionist in general, and so he's really good at rhythm and beats and just hitting the moments that need to hit. And so it was great to have just this atmospheric world building, because we didn't have a set. We had minimal costumes. There's little prop pieces here, so sound is very important in that regard. And every time they were just matching the vibe of what was happening on stage. And I applaud them for that as well, so thank you. Any other questions?
Thank you, and so as you guys know, thank you everybody, our playwrights and our Devised Theatre class and our audience. And if we do it again, it will be completely different because it will be different playwrights and different actors. So this is the first time, our pilot, but it will be something else next time. And I hope you want to join along in this journey of exploring your voice. And so I thank everybody. At this point, we're going to keep our devised and our playwrights for a few minutes. for a conversation just with us, but you guys will be headed out the door. So I'm going to turn it over to your principal.
Okay.
So thank you.